Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. And our first one comes from Plain Koala 1680. Am I the beehole for using my husband's salary to make a point to his family after he told me I should stand up for myself instead of expecting him to do it for me? My husband and I are doing okay financially. We make enough not to worry about the rent and necessities, and we are saving a decent amount and have a scope of growth in our careers. I make a little more than 1/3 of our combined income. We are both in our late 30s, and we have two 6-year-old boys. I've never liked my husband's family. Most of them anyways, because they have a lot of old-fashioned opinions that really don't approve of me. We don't have a lot of contact, so it's okay though. My husband's cousin's wedding is this week and they are getting married in our city, so we offered for his parents and aunt and uncle to stay with us. Bride and groom are renting a place. It's a bit of a squeeze, but it's working. They have been here for 2 days now, and the first day I heard them having a whole discussion on how it's sad that our children won't get to have the proper childhood with a mom at home, like my husband and his cousin got, while they're in the living room and I was in the kitchen. They also knew I could hear. I was stewing. But I don't really like confrontation, so I didn't say anything. Later, I asked my husband if he could please tell them to shut up with the snide comments about me. He said that's just their opinion, and it's not really hurting me. Oh, what a jerk. If I'm bothered, I should learn to stick up for myself and that he can't always do it for me. This sort of struck a nerve because it's true that I usually ask him to do small things, like telling the drive-thru person if our order is wrong, because it makes me feel weird and guilty. But somehow it feels like it's more his responsibility because it's his family involved here. Anyways, so today my father-in-law made one more pointed comment during dinner, and I said, "Your son makes this much money. We live in a big city, and the rent is this much money. We literally cannot live on a salary, so I don't know why you think I should be home all day." They were pretty quiet after that. Now my husband is really angry with me because I put him down in front of his family, who are all richer than us and will look down on him. Am I the beehole? No, you are not the beehole. Like you said, he should have handled this because it's his family. That makes sense to me. And plus, you just took his advice. He said you needed to stand up for yourself and that he wasn't going to do it, so you did what you had to do and stood up for yourself. He brought this on himself by acting like that. Looking at the comments, Enforcer 1971 says, "Definitely not the beehole. Your husband and in-laws are, however, common sense dictates that if your family is the problem with your spouse, you have their backs," which is true, he should have your back. Still, I think you handle things perfectly given the fact that your husband is a textbook beehole and doesn't defend you when he should. Very true, he should have defended you and explained to your parents that things don't work like that anymore. Everything's very expensive and a one-income household is hard to pull off nowadays. He doesn't get to be mad for the way you chose to do what he said. You just took his advice. Yup, just like I said, you listened to him and you did what he said. Also, is he a teenager? Why is he so pressed about his family knowing such trivial things as your rent and general income? If he doesn't want you to say those things, he should have had your back, I guess. Very, very true. He should have had your back. If he had just handled it himself, he could have, saved face, and all of this could have been reconciled pretty smooth, but he just had to be the beehole. And our next one comes from Elegant Device 1566. Am I the beehole for not declining or signing over my portion of my ex-boyfriend's life insurance payout to his mom? I recently learned that my ex-boyfriend passed away of the big C in March. His mom called me last week to inform me of his passing, and to inform me that myself and her are listed on the beneficiaries on his life insurance from his employer. She instantly tells me that she doesn't know why he never changed it, but I can decline or sign the check over to her once I receive it. Instantly, I'm in shock. He's gone? And he left me there? Why? I went back and forth, wondering if this was on purpose or accidental. OP, you know this isn't on purpose. This is accidental. You're his ex. It had been years, approximately 6 years. Like I said, it's been 6 years. Come on, you know he's not thinking about you after 6 years. Since we mutually civilly broke up. I was informed that he had a new girlfriend that lived with him, and she has 2 kids from a previous relationship that threw a wrench into things more. Is there a reason she never got put on? Was this just all a big mistake? Today it had been 1 week, and this has been very hard, especially since his mom has been terrorizing me all week trying to get me to agree to give her this money. She has said the most hurtful things, and has sent me the most disrespectful photos and a video of her son in his last few moments. As of right now, I haven't even gotten in touch with the insurance company. I have no idea how much this is, or if I need lawyers to help at this point. Well, today is the day I woke up, knowing 100% I'm keeping this money, OP. And I'm not going to feel bad at all for helping my family with a gift my ex left for me, OP. You know he did not leave that for you. It's been 6 years. Unfortunately, part of me still wonders if it's the right thing to do by my ex, and if these were his wishes in the end. A little info to add. My home burnt down to the ground 3 years ago. July 20th, on October 1st 2 years ago, my mom passed away from the Big C as well. It has been a long, few hard years, and this money would literally buy myself a new brassiere for the first time in 3 years. My little clan could really use this money, and I think my ex knew that. OP, you are the beehole. Do not keep that man's money. You know bloody well he was not thinking about you for 6 years going, I'm gonna give my ex the money. OP, you gotta look at it from the mother's point of view. His ex of 6 years is trying to steal money from her son who's not with us anymore. Yeah, I'd be mad too if that was happening. OP, you need to give that woman her money from her son. She's got to bury him. You know funerals are not cheap, and burials are not cheap either. And she's probably going to need some money after that because you have to come out of pocket for everything at first, and then you use the life insurance to pay yourself back for these type of funerals. That sucks what happened to you, but OP, you would 100% be the beehole to keep the money of someone you haven't been with for 6 years and deprive his person he's with and his mother of the money that will come from their unhear child like that. OP, you're 1000% the beehole. Give that woman back the money. You know you shouldn't keep that money. Oh, and that little part at the end was disgusting. I knew my ex would want me to have the money or whatever the crap you said. That was gross. Gross. And our final one comes from Professional Tax 7753. Am I the beehole for abandoning my parents at an island in the Caribbean so I can get back to their cruise on time? I graduated from high school back in December. As a gift, my parents got me a cruise. It was also for my 18th birthday. It was also a family vacation. We usually stay at an all-inclusive resorts, but I've always wanted to go on a cruise. I told my parents it was different and that if we went on excursions, we had to follow the schedule no matter what. Well, it was a week-long cruise and they would not head back to the ship when I said it was time to go. They were busy shopping and bargaining with the locals. I finally said I was going back to the ship and my mom waved me off. They missed departure by a lot, like 45 minutes. They got a hold of me through WhatsApp. They wanted to know why I didn't get the boat to wait for them. Okay, lady. Alright, that's funny. I wanted to scream that they were not going to inconvenience 3,998 people because two could not understand what a schedule was. They ended up having to fly to the next port from there, and it was expensive. They are pissed at me for leaving them behind. I don't know what I was supposed to do. They literally told me that they knew what they were doing. I wish I had never asked for this. They're making me miserable because I left without them. OP, not the beehole. They're grown adults. They have to know how to follow a schedule by now. What were you supposed to do? Knock them out and drag them to the ships or drag them kicking and screaming? Like, these things are serious. While I've never been on a cruise, I probably would never even want to get off because I'd be worried about that happening to me, getting left behind, and I wouldn't enjoy it because I'd constantly be looking at my clock. I don't blame you, OP. You told them, hey, we gotta get back to the ship. They're gonna leave without us, and yes, they will leave without you. These ships have schedules they need to keep because, other ones are coming, docking in port, leaving port. You gotta have that on lock because you don't want to cause any hiccups. And that is insane. They got it in your head that, oh, don't worry, our son will stop the giant yacht ship from leaving without us and inconvenience, like you said, 398 something people for 2 people. No, you were not the main characters, and no, you were not that special. Your own stupidity and your own inability or whatever to follow the schedule is your own problem, and that's why you had to come out of pocket and fly to the next port. And that's really sucks that they're making it like a living hell for you because of their own incompetence. You tried to help them, OP, so I'm definitely gonna say you're not the beehole. Like, come on. No, I've never been on a cruise, but if they said, hey, you got to get back at this time, I would get back at this time because I assume the boat's gonna leave without me. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me, and can you please do what I said in the beginning, and like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out, it helps it grow, and it helps you get more videos like this. Velvet out.